Hello and welcome to another episode of our podcast Gilly. Today, me and Saleh, we're going to talk about renewable energy. Most of the energy that we get right now is related to being polluted and having carbon dioxide emissions. So we're going to discuss about the solutions and what we can replace it with, which is renewable energy, the advantages and disadvantages of it, and the what is the Saudi Arabian government doing about it. Uh, we hope the episode will make you enjoy. We're having Saleh today.
Thanks for having me, Nayef. I am really excited about this topic. Renewable energy has become such an important global issue, especially with the growing focus of reducing carbon emissions and protecting the environment. And today we will make like what you say before. Uh, I think we will just beginning with comparing between
Yes.
the renewable energy and another sources, and absolutely we will discuss with another points. And now, take the mic.
Okay. So, firstly, we're going to discuss the advantages of renewable energy, and one of the big advantages and is the main reason why people are demanding the change is the less emissions uh, to polluting Earth. So this will reduce the carbon dioxide emissions, which sometimes affects the climate, which of course is why a lot of regions in the world is facing climate change. Uh, what do you think about the Saleh?
Exactly, Naif. This helps fight climate change. Plus, renewable energy sources are often free once the infrastructure is in place, like sunlight or wind, and so the operating costs are very low. I just compared to the non-renewable energy, and just tell me of some of advantage of the renewable energy now.
Right, and as you mentioned about the solar panels and
Sunlight,
dams, yeah,
yes.
water dams, it can generate sometimes the same energy that is produced by carbon emissions sources of energy, but also not be harmful to the earth. So this is a really important point that, and the main thing why change is necessary.
Naif, I will just come to another point, which is the sources. You just tell us about some of sources, and now we just will focus on specific sources. I will start with the renewable energy comes from some of sources that must will knows as something like the solar power and the solar panels. It's work like the solar panels convert sunlight into electricity. And can you just tell me another source, Naif, and tell me how it's work?
One of the other sources is wind power, where we use wind turbines to capture the power of the wind, and when we capture it, we convert this power to a hybrid power, which relies on the movement of wind, and the same with dams, which is water, and this generates electricity to a kinetic energy, which is used, of course, for daily daily supplies.
Okay. And there is another source which is the biomass energy. and the tidal energy, which are like the significant renewable energy sources as well. Uh, and in the end, all of this depend on the natural sources that are absolutely
And
available in the environment, and just we want to use it with a right, uh, how can I say it, with a right use in
yes,
our daily life.
of course,
Okay, Naif. And now the difference.
between the
We will make
renewable
a comparing.
and the non-renewable.
Yes. The take a don't
Let's talk.
worry.
Let's
Don't
talk.
worry.
Let's talk about how renewable energy differs from a non-renewable energy. Non-renewable energy uh, includes, even though it produces, it's more efficient sometimes, but the carbon dioxide and the emissions that are produced by this process are being harmful to the environment. So, and this, for example, includes oil, coal, this type of sources of renewable energy. Sorry, non-renewable energy. Uh, but when we have renewable energy, even though sometimes the how efficient it is much lower, but we're talking about reducing the carbon dioxide emissions, which of course will help the environment in the long term.
Uh, Naif, about this point, one of the biggest challenge uh, uh, in over time, this resources will run out. Well, renewable energy doesn't, how can I say it, debuild, making it sustainable. Okay, I mean it's work with a long time, Naif,
Yes.
or with a long term. And what do you think about non-renewable energy?
Wallahi, look,
I mean,
even
what the non-renewable
yeah,
energy?
yeah, of
What?
course, of course. Um, the talk about the sources and it's gonna end soon. We have a lot of sources. We have a long range or a long time to
Mhm.
adopt the change. So rushing this out is wrong. So we have a time to make this transition. Having a deadline, as some companies do or countries do, is wrong. So
Mhm.
imagine you have 7 years to do this transition, which is pretty hard. So what I think about the non-renewable energy is that it helped since the industrial revolution. It helped countries and economies thrive. It helped overcome recessions. So it really helped the humans basically in developing machines, other things that we rely on today. So we couldn't reach this point without this non-renewable energy. But the time has changed. We have other options that maybe will be different, will be better. So why not to change to it? We don't need to rush. If we could change to sustainable energy at the same efficiency of the non-renewable energy, why not?
Thank you for this answer, Naif. And speaking of transition from non-renewable energy to the renewable energy, I can take Saudi Arabia as an example. Uh, Saudi Arabia uh, rule in this field, while the country is famous for being one of the world's largest oil producers. It's making significant strides in renewable energy. Naif, just tell me about this movement. I think it's revolution, one of
Yes.
the biggest and famous countries in this field. Tell me.
I think what's happening right now in Saudi Arabia is, of course, positive. It's related to the ambitions and goals of Vision 2030, which aims to reduce the reliance of Saudi Arabia on oil and diverse the economy. So replacing and what's happening right now is the transition between renewable and the non-renewable energies going as planned and as the Vision 2030 wanted it to happen. What's done right now is maybe the best in the world, better than any country. The transition is very smooth, even though Saudi Arabia is one of the world most or largest oil producers. It's it will, I think, 15 years max. It will depend on renewable energy, 100% better than any country maybe.
Exactly, Naif. Saudi Arabia plans to become a global hub for renewable energy, which will help reduce its uh, how can I say it, depending on oil and boost its national economy. And now, Naif, tell me about the economic advantage and disadvantage in general about the renewable energy, Naif.
Of course, in addition to the environmental benefits, the renewable energy sometimes can generate jobs and thrive the economy. The cost of solar panels sometimes is less expensive. It can be adapted to any homes easily, which of course will replace the electricity that comes from coal made electricity hubs. Um, this is one of the advantages of the renewable energy. And when we're talking about long term advantages, also, we're talking about the cost of operating this and the danger upon the employee when it comes to extracting oil compared to getting renewable energy. So there's a big difference. And there's also disadvantages. Um, Having the same efficiency for the renewable energy is a bit hard. And we're talking about uh, if you let's take Riyadh for example. Riyadh is now one of the largest city in the world, so it's really hard to get Riyadh, all of Riyadh, to operate under normal and in other situations where you need more electricity on just renewable energy, which is a bit hard and will maybe be achieved in the future, uh, inshallah.
Yes, absolutely. Now, if it will take a long time, but we in this path, and we will, I think, we will can
Acquire,
uh,
inshallah.
absolutely nice. And now I will tell you something. There is also a great potential for exploring renewable energy to other countries, which could become a major source of income for many nations that invest in renewable technologies. And absolutely now, if the renewable energy, the technology of this new thing, we want to uh, upgrade, and we will take a long time, like what you say, to take to transition from renewable energy to the renewable energy. I mean, we from to 100%. Okay, and I thank you, Naif, to having me today.
So right now, thank you our viewers for watching this episode of Gilly. We talked about renewable energy, some advantages and disadvantages. Even though this episode wasn't having full informations, but we tried to make it as simple as possible for you. We thank Saleh for being here. Great ideas, great views.
Thank you, Naif, and like what he say. Uh, I think this is a new kind of episodes. It comes with another language, Naif.
Yes.
Absolutely, if we will make another episodes like that, it will be not long like the Arabic episodes. And thank you. Just goodbye.